Tinker, as you say, assuming that he does get the farm. Yesterday, though, we saw Team Tinker running an AM without securing the safe lane farm, and C9, as Lumi pointed out, could very well go aggressive tri-lane. If you pick an AM now, that's going to be like a Naga Jakiro Vengeful lane probably, and to switch Zeus into a core, which Fada is more than happy to play, I'm sure. And if you don't farm the AM, you're in a horrible spot all of a sudden.
The only reason I suggested is because they're last pick, so if they feel like they can do it, then it might be okay. But we'll see what happens.
It's true.
Oh, Nyx Assassin.
Bone 7 Nyx.
Yeah, really good against Timber.
Or is that
really good.
Nyx? I'm not sure.
I actually think mid Nyx would be better here than support, just because an early, really high level Impale, a Vendetta, it kills Virtus.Pro's heroes quite easily. You know, like Timbersaw and Bane and Elder Titan, they're moderately tanky, but if you have a Zeus ulti and you have a Nyx roaming around the map, like you're going to be able to get quite a bit of solo kills, which is nice because normally, in order for a Nyx Assassin to stay relevant, you kind of need like a Dagon or something, like or very high levels of farm. Yeah. Whereas a Zeus kind of makes it so you might not need that as badly.
I think that Nyx is totally going to be a solo laner here. Aoi does love to play Jakiro, so look for Nyx Assassin to be given one lane. If he's up against Timbersaw, he does fairly well against him. He can mana burn him, and he has very good HP regen, so you can sort of just blast it against the Timber. But it's also not a lane that Timber would complain about having one-on-one compared to being against a tri-lane.
All right, so looks like we're going to see G's Viper on the mid lane. A hero that he does play quite a bit, not exactly a playmaker of hero, but against this particular lineup, it's pretty good.
I mean, he did also just turn around and demolish a Shadow Demon when he got ganked as Viper yesterday, and
that was funny.
Show that his decision-making on the hero is still very legit.
Yep.
And it gives them some siege.
Looks like
it is going to be a core next,
The thing is, when you go... Who's going to go mid against Viper? Envy?
I guess it has to be Envy.
Yeah, send Envy.
I think Envy does better in that matchup than the Nyx does. I don't know.
I feel like there's no one good going into the mid lane.
Well, it's going to be a lost lane, I think, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, Envy's going to lose and Fata's going to lose, but for Envy, I think he would actually be able to get more farm out of it. Or maybe they prioritize getting like a quick Radiance or something on him instead.
The only important thing is that you never want to send a Zeus against Viper mid. You would simply get demolished. So sending either Naga Siren or Nyx, both are okay, I would say. And maybe you would even want to prioritize sending the Naga Siren and just let the Nyx farm up more. But Fada, taking Nyx quite likely to go mid.
Yeah, with these starting items, like he's got Ring of Protection and Stout. And he's been pulled, so probably
going to be game 2 of Virtus.Pro versus Cloud9, and the winner gets, well, if Virtus.Pro wins this game, they'll move on to the winner bracket finals, which will face Evil Geniuses, and Cloud9 needs to win one to stay in the winner bracket at all. So we'll see if they be able to do so. Here comes a little bit of jungle foray from Cloud9, and they'll see Yo. I'm not sure if they actually can get the Magic Missile off. And they'll back off for now.
You know, it's extremely rare to see that anyone dies in these first little engagements, like just running out to the lane. It feels like it used to be a lot more, and now I can't think of many times at all in DreamLeague Phase 2 even. Sure, there was the illusion kill with Sand King, but overall people are just a little bit more tactical about running in.
I think they're more disciplined than anything else. Yeah. It's really tempting to have a team fight at level 1 and say, okay, yeah, we have the better level 1, let's try to take this, and then you end up making a mistake and give away a lot of kills. I mean, obviously in that case, VP were clearly outnumbered, so y'all just decided to back up, and Elder Titan's 315 base move speed definitely helps in that regard, so.
So Bone 7's actually going to go mid on Jakiro. I mean, Liquefire is really good, but is Liquefire good against Corrosive Skin?
Not necessarily, because it keeps proccing it until
right, so you take way more damage.
Yeah.
So
I think it's not about the Liquid Fire, though. I think it's just about having a ranged hero against Viper instead of having to put one of your 2 melee there.
I mean, sure, you have a ranged hero, though, but Viper will harass you and outlast you very easily.
But of all the heroes on Cloud9, the hero who needs farm the least and levels the most is actually Bone 7.
That's true.
Because you really only need a pair of Tranquil Boots and Yules, and that's it for like the entire game. Anything else you get is icing on the cake.
No fear dropping that Liquefier at level 1. He did see a poison attack flying at him, though, at the time. So
look for bottom here. Invisible Bane trying to find something, but they're pretty strong, C9 in this tri-lane.
I mean, there's 2 ways to play this, right? You could play for the kill if you're Virtus.Pro. Another way is just to actually level up that Enfeeble and be like, yo, Envy, have fun.
Oh, he can't get the D-ward on the neutrals. They're trying to find it, eating their ways in. They know there are many hiding spots, and This camp, I just feel there should be some change be made to this small camp, because it's the hardest camp in the entire game to deward.
Yeah.
Even the Ancients are easier to deward than this one.
Well, unfortunate for them that they're not going to be able to find it for now. And VP, I mean, this lane from Cloud9 is deceptively strong because Zeus's harassing is actually very good. And he knows, like, BZZ is respecting the fact that he can just get spammed down very quickly. So he's not really going to the wave as much as Envy's sitting at 6-1 right now. And you just see that he walks up to the wave, loses more than half his health.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to farm as a Slark here. And C9 really just, you know, look at all the creeps coming under tower, but they don't allow the enemy to farm. Envy going really aggressive.
Envy is going really ham. Jottam is skilled level 1 Nightmare. They don't really have the capability of fighting into this, though. Unfortunately, a little bit weak for the Elder Titan. He needs, I think, at least level 2. He doesn't have Stomp, and he doesn't have Natural Order.
That Spirit, though, is giving him so much damage. He is running low in terms of mana. Envy has upgraded to more man shield, which allows him to play in the front line, like you said, much more aggressively.
That was also 6 creeps going under a tower of VP, and Slark was not able to farm more than maybe one of them.
He's got 2 CS.
Yeah, so that was really, really important, going that aggressive. It wasn't even an attempt to get a kill. It's more like just zone away the enemy and say, you're not allowed to farm on this lane. This is ours.
Yeah, so far Cloud9 looking pretty good, at least in the bottom lane.
Yeah. Top lane, Fata and Sadoy just trading away last hits. No big advantage here, and I wouldn't imagine this will change, right? Both heroes would just kind of last it.
I would actually say that Timbersaw has a slight edge in the sense that the Nyx will actually never be able to kill him. And speaking of kills, G gets first blood middle lane, killing Bone 7.
Yeah, no
level
boots.
4, and he gets a regen. Okay.
No boots over on the Jakiro, and he just punished him. Really impressive.
The walk down.
So the thing is, he actually has not skilled Nether Toxin Corrosive Skin in 1 or 2. It was like, I'll just keep on harassing you. You can harass me, but I do more damage.
Well, in some lanes, you have to make the assumption that the enemy is not going to try to harass you because it's futile, and getting the extra base damage on Nether Toxin and being able to harass him directly is sometimes the better choice.
Well, right, but because he didn't get the Corrosive Skin, it allowed Bone 7 to harass him. So it's just like a very interesting trade-off.
He had 1 point into it, and that's fine. And he always puts 2 points into a Nether Toxin. He did it yesterday as well.
Yep.
So he values the last hitting and just the power of that. Also knows that he can hit so much against a Jakiro with his trashy range. Vengeful, walking pretty aggressively, but no way to die here, really. And we gotta be fine.
Yeah, Yo's still level 1.
He's gonna get challenged for the rune, though. Yo's hitting for like 90 damage. But they'll back off for now. The rune's gonna spawn in just a bit. And it looks like Jakiro is actually just demoted to pulling jungle, and actually a pretty decent nice stack using Ice Path.
Yeah, it's a good stack, of course, but 4 minutes in and you're already shoved off your lane on mid lane. Viper definitely had the effect you wanted then, and that's going to secure some good farm early on for him.
I think the one nice thing for Cloud9 too is, like, even though mid lane's not going great, just seeing Impale here on a Sadoy, is you have Fata who can rotate, which means that they're going to have to be very, very diligent at having sentries down all the time, or VP's safe lane could just get completely obliterated, which is really it's like scary to think about, right? They needed a hero on the side of Cloud9 that could actually help create space during the mid game, because up until that point they basically had none. They had no initiator, they had no one who actually pressures the map at all. But with the Nyx, it changes the way that they can actually play. So Envy, I think, even outside of the laning phase, he's currently doing well. He'll be able to continue that rate of farm.
Yeah, probably. And Fata is doing really well against the Timbersaw. 20-for-7 against 18 and 5. So it's a wash lane, really. Very hard to come out ahead on this lane.
Yeah, the biggest lane so far has definitely been bottom. And VP not really getting what they want out of this, although Jottam is level 3 now, so he's got level 2 Brain Sap, which 160 pure damage nuke, definitely something you're going to have to watch out for.
It's a really good spell in fights and skirmishes, but that's not really what Cloud9 is going for. Cloud9 is just kind of like, you come in the lane, you're eating a Riptide, you're eating an Arc Lightning, and BZZ is constantly fearing himself like salves and tangles and whatnot, so he's just farming very, very poorly.
Yeah.
Mid lane here, looks like Viper Strike's going to go off against Bone 7, trying to reach a high ground. Ice Path's going to come through. There's one teleport coming in, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough. The Poison Attack, the Corrosive Skin, it's all doing so much. Pylite Die TP's in, and he's kind of hanging out. Was like, well, I'm too late. I can't do anything.
Yeah, and also on top lane, a little bit of a power peak for the Timbersaw. When he gets his mana boots, you can spam a little bit even against the Nyx. Just use the mana boots, immediately burn your mana, and you know, don't let him use his Mana Burn on you, throw out some damage.
I think we're going to see a little bit of lane switch because as it progresses, Viper will just bully too hard.
Yeah.
He's already level 8.
This is a good and well-timed switch, though, from C9. Obviously, mid is not doing too well, but also top would start going out of control, I think.
Oh, looks like G is actually going to get impaled. Can they chain stun him? They got a ton of minus armor, but here comes the Spirit. Does he have Clap available? Looks like he does, but G runs away from the Clap. One more impale would seal the deal, but cooldown.
Okay, so that was actually a misplay by Yul. He put that Spirit way too far. And still, G lives, right? So he's got his headdress, Aquila, Treads, 1,000 HP. At 7 minutes into the game. Bottom lane, though, they managed to pick off Aue 2000. Middle lane, Fata comes in with the Vendetta. Even with a sentry down, G still ends up going down.
That was a very important kill just for the level purposes. Fata gained a ton of experience for that, and now he's level 8. Very dangerous hero for Virtus.Pro.
And Nyx is also a type of hero that your first gang kind of has to work, right? You need to get something paying out immediately so that you keep getting items.
I think, honestly, the fact that Cloud9 have had to abandon bottom lane is really bad for them. The fact is, like, Envy, he's gotten some pretty good farm in the early game, but it's 7 minutes in, and he's 28 CS. BZZ is 1 creep behind him. They haven't held him down hard enough. Like, the fact that you're just trading even with a hero who's going to start playing more aggressive and hit his peak sooner than your Naga Siren is actually beneficial towards VP.
Well, VP's draft is just strong as well against the draft of C9 in laning stage. You have heroes who really can win laning stage hard, Bane being one of them. Slark is also strong. Then you have the fact that Viper is a hero that very rarely loses his lane on mid. But maybe C9 could have gone more out if they got the Jakiro against Timbersaw maybe, and pair up the Nyx against Viper, but anyone is going to struggle against Viper.
All right, looks like we're going to see a smoke gang developing from the top lane, TP in from the 2 supports, and really all they need is a Nightmare to start things up. And I don't think there's any way for Envy to get out of this apart from running away. If he does not, if he sees the smoke and gets to run away, that's good. But shot him, he's got the boots, he walks in, easy Nightmare, and there's just way too much burst damage. Envy's dead.
Yeah, he is super dead. And the thing is, we talked about the farm difference between the two heroes being pretty negligible, like BZZ and Envy respectively, but BZZ was actually 2 levels higher than Envy, and he had the same farm. So, I don't know. I mean, being able to abuse the Naga before she hits 6 is definitely something that you always want to do, but I really feel like VP, even though they got aggressively trialing against, and it seemed like it was going well for Cloud9, there's a lot of pressure on Fata now. We talked about his capability of making space for the team. It is like all on him. And here we go, right here. He's going to find Yell inside of the woods. The Howl was there. Should be quite an easy support kill. They want Envy to get the last hit. They're even going to save it for him, so nicely done.
That's exactly what he needs to do. I'm a big fan if Fata got the kill, because he could, get his items well. But he'll TP bottom, defend the tower, and get a ton of farm as well. Gotta be careful though. Here comes BZZ with the pounce. Dark Pack was not prepped up, so.
I think he maybe wouldn't have dove because he doesn't have Orb of Venom.
Yeah.
I think it would have been too
There's
hard.
a haste rune on
As
Nyx,
for giving farm over to Envy, I think it's either way is fine. I think almost having the farm on Bone 7 would be better in this.
I think so.
Or on Fata would be better in this regard.
I think if he gets an early Dagon and just gets to kill the supports repeatedly, that'll be excellent.
Yeah, having the snowballing Nyx is huge.
Yeah, one of you is the guy that you have to look to somehow take over the game and carry, whereas the other one has to hold up the game until that point, whereas Naga won't really help much at all. And giving that little bit of burst gold, well, it's a nice thing anyway. I thought of.
So do you think at this point Envy just rushes the straight relic? No more Aquila, no more drums.
I still think Aquila is a very high value item, but considering he has Magic Wand and, Bottle, Poor Shield, Magic, and...
Oh, Envy in a lot of trouble. Needs to use a song, Magic Sticks, and should be fine.
Yeah, Spirit's going to be chasing him, but he's got the bottle, so...
With his specific build, I would say Radiance is probably going to be straight from now on, whereas normally having Aquila is very high value.
Bottom lane, initiation, the ganks are pretty good, but okay, no mana. Now he will fight him. In fact, Fata might lose this fight. Shadow Dance is available.
Yeah, he definitely will lose the fight. He's going to get some help. BCC going ham.
Oh, too much. All right, he doesn't have enough mana to stun. He's fine. That was definitely close. So everything considered, I mean, VP are pulling ahead in a couple of their heroes. Do we actually think that Naga Siren has enough of a late game factor to actually just be what ends VP's game, because I actually think Viper, Slark, and Elder Titan together in a late game doesn't necessarily guarantee Cloud9's victory if it goes past, say, like 35-40 minutes.
It all comes down to how much you can do, because if the Viper is anywhere close to the Naga's net worth, you're never going to be carrying against them, because Slark is going to be up there as well. And to pull ahead as a Naga, you really need to outfarm your opponent. It's similar to the way you run an Anti-Mage, right?
Yeah.
So you need to get the value out of your Radiance. But G is amazing at just staying ahead in farm. Same as Valix, two players who really shines on the Viper as well, even though it normally is a passive hero.
I don't think it comes down to net worth as big as what normally would, but hold that thought. Aoi 2000 in a ton of trouble here. He's juking left, he's juking right, but Creep's gonna give sight. Here comes the Nightmare. Poison attack's gonna come through, and actually, G makes a mistake, but he'll
Always like, hey,
kill.
let me wake you up before I die, just to make sure you get the gold.
I think given how poorly Virtus.Pro's lineup pushes, if the split push from Envy is good enough, like unless you're up by 15k gold, I think Cloud9 should have the late game advantage.
Yeah, I mean
if your 3 creep wave spawns in front of your Raxus and Envy kills it, what do you actually do as Viper Slark?
theoretically, if you get to that point though, yeah, but if you're shot in base already and the enemy is pressuring you,
That's
you
true.
might have a hard time even getting your illusions across the river. So it's going to be definitely tough, and I think that net worth is an amazingly big factor on Viper. Many players who fall off on Viper is because they don't have the items. Late game Viper with a few items turns into a pretty scary hitter.
I think she definitely has that Mirana effect, right? Mirana, if you play her as a core, you better have, 2, 3 tier 4 items. Spylight Eye, gonna TP out away from this gank.
Yeah, and C9 are losing this laning stage very hard. They're in a struggle already. The 3 top farmers once again decide of VP.
Well, I mean, we say that, but Envy is actually starting to recover quite nicely. He's only like 10 CS or so behind BZZ. He's got 2100 gold right now. He's working his way towards a relic, and it's 13 minutes in, right? So worst case scenario, he gets like a 20-minute Radiance.
Yep.
I don't really think that's an unwinnable position for Cloud9.
Nope. She is going to come out, throw out the poison attack, and because he's actually used the illusion,
the
nice
body
blocks, and here comes Fata. A little bit of bloodlust in the eye of G can actually burst him down. A ton of AoE damage. The mech's going to come out with G. Last poison attack.
God.
He gets the kill. Envy wanted to kill her. Jadam's going to get clipped. A offensive swap coming against Jadam. No Nightmare. Here comes a brain sap, and it looks like Jadam's going to go down. Great recovery from Cloud9, getting a bit of experience and gold. But with this, Virtus.Pro will push bottom here, forcing out a Glyph and looking to do a little bit more tower damage.
Yeah, plenty of gold going their way. Luckily for VP though, they have pressure on 2 other lanes, so maybe can get 2 towers out of this as well, in which case it's a fine trade for them.
Yeah, and they do get both the tier 1 top and bottom. Well, there is a TP coming into top lane. There is Song available. Is
Nice
Envy going
path.
to go for this? Going to be on the mark here. Sadoy in a little bit of trouble. No ensnare coming out from Envy. He does have it skilled. Only 1 point. Sadoy turns around. There is still a Song if they want to try to disengage this. And I think he's dead. I think he's just biding his time. Oh, BZ comes in. He's got Blink.
Song
He's
now.
going on Bone 7. There we go. It's retreat factor now for Cloud9. They're actually not even going to be able to kill Sadoy. They just got to get out of here. G walking up here into the high ground by Pylai Dai and Fata. I don't think he's getting away from this.
Yeah, they're going to just TP out, leaving Pylai Die there. Right now, the early game, mid game for Virtus.Pro is just too insane. Whenever Slark walks into your team, you have to TP out.
Yeah.
Whenever Viper walks into your team, you have to TP out.
Fada giving him the stun and ditch. Like, Paladai, I'm sorry, I would love to save you, but you're actually too weak.
I don't know. I mean, perfect example of how far ahead VP are is G diving a tier 2 into, 4 heroes and still killing Envy.
I think Envy
Bone
went
7 also dying bottom lane in the meantime. This Blink Slark is doing some serious work. He had some help from Yol, of course, but...
I think Envy died there because he tried to go back for the last hit, but poison attack plus corrupts the skin, or plus nether toxin, giving the really massive plus damage to G.
Pretty decent skills.
Yeah.
Pretty decent. So, G working his way towards Ags. He's actually
Look at
only
this
about
gank coming.
1500
Sentry
away.
Ward gets dropped down immediately. He gets, turns around just on the last tick. Would have actually died if the pounce hit.
I don't know. I think it would have been close, actually. I mean, the one nice thing that Cloud9 have going is that Fata has had a pretty good game so far. He's definitely doing the best on a team in terms of his presence in the game. Like, he's actually 100% of his team's kills right now, contribution-wise.
Yeah.
2-0 and 2.
But even with the Dagon build, though, he's never going to kill the Viper on his own, even with a Zeus ulti. He's not going to kill the Timbersaw on his own, even with a Zeus ulti. Like, there are heroes that are difficult to kill. And Stark, of course, if he picks up on the movement speed reduction or the status bar, he will probably notice that Nyx is on him as well.
Yeah. Well, definitely looking to be another VP favored game thus far, but I wouldn't call the game that far out of reach for Cloud9. Like, the biggest issue they're going to have is if they get high ground push and they end up losing a set of racks. That's actually the thing that really hurts lineups with Naga Siren, because essentially you want to be able to push out lanes all the time. And the strength of a Naga Siren is that if you get Radiance, you can actually push out 3 lanes simultaneously. As Fata is going to be caught here inside of the river. Viper Strike is there. Oh. He's going to pop his Invis. Does Jottam have any detection? Oh my god, they actually almost take him out there, but he will be able to scuttle his way to safety.
Yeah, I mean, obviously C9 are in a much better spot than in the last game, but it's still a struggle. You have the Radiance working on for Naga, so you need to try and get this up and just farm and push. Fata's still trying to find a kill here.
Thinking about this kill, there's just no way, right? There's too much raw health.
Yeah, even the damage. I mean, this is risky if he...
I mean, if he just walks into like a bad chakram.
Yeah, even just one whirling death and he's almost dead, but he's gonna try and do some damage here.
That's like the spite, you know, my ult is about to run out.
That's value, man.
They can't even defend their tier 2. Look at this. They have a Bane just running behind the tower, and yeah, that's enough to drive people away. On the bottom lane, BZD ports in to defend the tower a little bit here. And Envy's already starting to do creep scraping. He needs his relic very badly.
What a player.
Okay, but he might actually die for the straight up TP out. A liquefier into a TP. They get the tower.
Oh my god. Okay, so
this is as rad as it gets.
That was beautiful by Bone7. Really well played.
I mean, he knew that there was no way that BZZ could stop a TP on his own, right? So there's no real risk in him dying. It's all about, does he actually stop you from killing the tower? Because essentially, if you go in right away and the Jakiro TPs away, you can deny the tower, or he just doesn't kill it at all. So I'm kind of surprised that BZZ just let him sit there and do that like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Oh, BZZ standing around the ward.
That's a good target if you can go on Slark here.
Yeah, Slark's actually death packing. He's losing a little bit of health here. Impale, it's going to be a kill. Nicely done here for Fata on a killing spree. Yeah. And the question is he going to go Blink? Is he going to upgrade a Dagon or something else altogether?
Oh, I think you kind of have to upgrade get the Blink in this game.
Well, mid lane here, Ice Path's going to prep things up. Sadoi very tanky. The Chain Sun's going to be there. Magic Missile should seal the deal. Cloud9 fighting some freebies right in front of the towers. And if you look over to Envy now, like Andy said, he's been slowly picking up his farm. Got the Relic Gold, and Radiance is soon to follow.
Yeah, he's got the Relic money right now, so all he has to do is pick it up. Keep the unreliable gold, basically, is the most important part. But once he gets that, I mean, VP, the only 2 heroes that probably don't care too much about the Radiance burn are going to be Sadoi and G, because they have just a massive amount of HP. But even BZZ, like, he's got 1100 health. That's not too much to burst down. Obviously, we saw how easily Cloud9 can kill a hero if they get everything just used together. So Cloud9 showing some signs of life here.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And C9 now closing up on this Radiance is finally the moment where they can start pressuring out Silence, but still a little bit more time has to be bought by Fata here.
Ooh, this kill could be big. If Jottam opens up with Grip, that's all that matters. Yep, there's a Grip. Can Zeus come in with the Lightning Bolt cancel, and can the Song be prepped up?
Nope.
Too much damage, too fast from Virtus.Pro. They might lose a little bit more, but here comes Bone7. Ice Path is going to prep things up. Sadoi taking a ton of damage. Lightning Bolt's going to go through as well. There's one chain away. Pylai die. No Magic Missile. He will find out on Jottam. Swap back. Impale's not going to hit here. Jottam juking about, but looks like he's going to go down here. Nice Ice Path from Bone7.
Well played by C9. Really turning it around here. Losing a tower mid is fairly fine because getting the kills, giving them some experience here is the more important thing.
I actually think that this is part of the reason why I don't typically enjoy Timbersaw picks into Zeus, is no matter how farmed you are, until you have a BKB, your HP pool means nothing to Zeus, right? You just get bursted down, and plus, they have a Nyx on top of that, so in a way, I actually think Sadoi, he did really well in the laning phase, but you need to actually continue to farm on this hero if you want to stay relevant. Without a BKB, I think he just becomes food almost.
Yeah, and his Bloodstone is now down to 4 charges. He was up at 10, but it has dropped quite a lot now, so...
You know what you said about Timbersaw? I think that also applies to the Viper. Just like Waga said, you need to keep your GPM up on that hero. So even G, despite he dominated the lane, played really well, he's knocking down towers, still still need to maintain his farm, and with all these lanes somewhat push in, at least for the moment, I'm not sure where he's going to find that creep wave. All right, he finds the top. Meanwhile, Fata looking for his skill on the bottom, and he will find it on Sadoi again.
Yeah, they could kill him
actually,
here.
He's actually zoned away. This stun has to hit. The juke's going to come out. Nice connect here by Fata. Another ice pass should do it, but Sadoi runs away. And here comes a little bit of return, gang. Bone 7 straight up TP out, but too much damage from BZZ. Gets him on the very last tick of the TP.
Wow, that was surprising that he could just walk away from that, but Ice Path being a little bit off target, because else the Nyx will just stand on top of you. You cannot Timber Chain away, you cannot use any spell without getting stunned. But living this time is the Timber Saw.
And it looks like they want to transition that into a 2-2 push. I don't think that Cloud9 could defend it without Bone 7.
Well, it is definitely going to be hard, and
yeah, they're giving it up.
Yeah. I mean, losing the last tier 2 is really troublesome, because now this is a really good tower to have to TP2 for Roshan, which means that the next thing that VP could potentially be thinking about is, okay, well, what's the easiest way for us to secure that? Because if they get an Aegis up on maybe even Sadoi or BZZ, and they try to take a team fight to go high ground, that's an ideal situation.
Yeah. Mid lane here, easy. Can he land the Impel? He will. The Dagon should be it. The chain's going to come back in. Fata, though, it's going to get double TP upon. That's going to be a Yol coming in. No Yul Scepter just yet. Slark looking for the Blink Pounce. Fata needs to really use his Nike. His TP's going to get cancelled by Jotum. And that's going to be it. But 1-for-1 trade and getting a couple of TP back, not too bad. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, Envy with the Radiance already online, starting to do that split push.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually a hero now. As soon as you have the Radiance, Naga can come into play and make something happen as well. So buying some time, but the pick on Fata there was very big for VP. And they should have Skadi completed now whenever they want on Slark. I wish they would D-ward a little bit more with the Slark, but they are doing it now as they ran through the
they have a
enemy
gem,
jungle.
So.
Yeah.
With Bone 7 in the enemy jungle, pops the smoke, pops the Yules, needs to TP home again.
Oh my,
Cloud9's actually
damage.
Spending a ton of Ghost Gold on TP, but...
I mean, I think that's less relevant, right? Because you have Fata, who's been creating a lot of space for the rest of the team. I think he's pretty much the only reason Envy has been able to get any farm at all, is because he's always been forcing like these 2 or 3 hero reactions coming out of VP. And that kind of thing is something that you can't really put a price on as a Naga Siren, because even though like Radiance is around like 5,300, it's like once you get it, your hero starts to farm at such a rapid rate that no one really can keep up.
Yeah, and one thing that he has at least is that all the farm is being delivered to his base as the lanes are being shoved by VP. So I guess he doesn't have to run that far at least.
Yeah.
Positive things. He should probably go into a straight boost of travel now, I believe, even in this scenario.
Oh, Pi.
Allows him to farm faster.
Quick TP out. I mean, all these 6 outer towers really nice to have, like around 20 minutes against the Naga Siren, but the challenge begins now. Because if Envy plays well, you will never really see those creep wave close to the enemy towers. And he's already teleported to the bot lane. Boots Travel was his next item of choice.
Oh, BZZ is going to catch Bone 7 here. Yule's being popped. I think he has the time to TP out, and he will do so.
The TP away seems to be C9's secret weapon here against VP.
I mean, it's 100 gold per pop, though. They don't have many
stuns, right?
Yeah. Jotum is the only one, and of course Yol.
It's a bait though. Here comes Envy and that Dagon from Fata. The Zeus even uses help out with the kill.
Envy gets the last hit as well, so more gold going towards the Naga. And at this stage, definitely want all the gold over on your Naga Siren. Because as you said, your creep waves are not going to get close to a tower if Naga plays well. But so far, the illusions die extremely fast if anyone just punches them.
Top fight. Bone 7's going to get swapped out. Pylai Die will give his life away for Bone 7. Doing what Venge does. But getting these kills are nice. They need to transition into a push, and the creep wave is sufficiently large on the top. It looks like they're defending towers. Oh, gee! Gets his TP cancel. Well done by Fata. So that tower on the bottom lane is going to take even more damage.
Blink Dagger, very good item to have on Nyx, not only to land the massive stuns, but sometimes the key timing ones. Creating more space for Envy as they know Viper cannot TP down there.
So what's next for Envy?
I mean,
Manta style
just Manta.
Or Heart?
Yeah, I think
just Manta.
Manta Heart is pretty much what you want.
You need a Yasha to get the most value out of your booster travel already, and just having more illusions is so key. Oh, he would have been so happy to take that region room, but he's gonna have to slither back to base as VP go down and secure their jungle.
Yeah, mid lane though, Blink Impel to start the fight against Yo, and Lightning Bolt to give a little a chain stun. Yo drops a gem. BZZ comes in here trying to clean up. He is going to get Pylai die. How many more can he get? Fata has Blink, and he'll get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
But
Well,
getting the gem there was huge.
a massive pickup there for C9, and they also kill off an Observer Ward immediately with it.
Yep.
So already a good thing.
Roche though.
Yeah, being attempted here.
Does Aegis allow them to slow siege a tier 3 tower?
I think it could,
would.
yeah. I don't think it's too far-fetched to think of it that way, but
Out of experience from playing against the Naga a lot, like the moment that it really becomes painful playing against Naga is when the Manta and the beginning of a Heart is starting to show up, because at that point you cannot kill the illusions and you cannot stop the split push. But until then, you can at least just hit down the illusions very fast. They're not tanky at all by any means. So as long as you have heroes on the lane, you can force it all the way to tier 3.
Cloud9 is protecting all these rotations. They see Sadoy coming in. Yulsep to set things
Sadoy.
up very easily. Ice Path's gonna get prepped up. Sadoy taking a bunch of burst damage. Look at that! Look at that Bloodstone. It's at 0.
It's actually an empty Bloodstone.
I think VP are kind of throwing it by not just grouping, you know? Like, in a way, Fata is the main reason why Cloud9 are in the game. Like,
Yes.
Fata is the reason they have not lost, because they keep splitting, thinking that they're so far ahead that the main goal is to keep the waves pushed so far, right? So Naga can't really get anything like tower-wise, and they've only lost one tier 1, which is great. But you keep giving away kills, especially on a hero like Tadoy, who's one of your cores, who is meant to have
Trying
some
to
giant
chase.
influence here. BZZ is going to go in here. He's got the Shadow Dance, Bone 7, just everyone TPing away.
Yeah, normally this is very similar to an old style of play, like the split push and TP away. Makes me think of TI3 times.
Yeah.
And playing back in that time, something that was commonly regarded as the way to play against it is to realize we're gonna lose a tier 2, but just reach the enemy high ground. That's the goal. Group up as 5 and sacrifice one of your tier 2s to Naga split push or whatever and get the chance to rax the enemy. Because you will never really get a better trade when the enemy is ratting you this well.
Yeah.
So just take the bigger trade, I would say. Go, like, try to force a rax.
Especially now, you got the Aegis. You got the fighting advantage.
Yes.
Just take a fight. Like mid, just go. But they're more dealing with the split push now, and every time you're dealing with a split push, here's what happens. G's very tanky, he's got the BKB, but he'll never get a chance to use it. Cloud9 on top of these ganks.
Yeah, C9 have completely taken over the game, and can we see the swing that has come here just by C9's rotations? It's not showing that much on the net worth just yet, but look at the experience as well. Starting to fall back in their favor, and if you get ahead and you have a Naga, that's when you can carry the game. That's when you can actually win it.
So just to put it in a bit clearer of a perspective is, Envy had a 22-minute Radiance. In 6 minutes, he farmed a Manta and bots. So
Decent.
I mean,
GPM has been high.
yeah, it's been decent, and he's gonna pop his song here just so Pylai can teach.
I think that's the opening. Song is down. So unless you lose any heroes, as I say that though, look at the top lane. Yo gets Yules, gets picked up. Fata again. He's involved in 13 out of Cloud9's 14 kills.
Fata is just picking them apart. Going alone is not something VP can afford, especially after losing their gem already. They needed to group up like yesterday and go down mids. There's really no other way to deal with this Nyx Assassin and Naga Siren, especially with Zeus. Zeus is always relevant in these ganks as well.
Any thoughts on Nyx getting a Bucci travel? The map is so split open, you get to pick off stragglers here and there.
I don't think it's necessary, actually. Like, because Fata's movement has been so good, usually bots are the one item that you buy in case you ever like are in a position that you shouldn't be in and you want to try to go find a kill elsewhere, but Fata's just been on point. Like, he knows exactly where he needs to be all the time, and even though bots are an efficient item to have and it lowers your TP cooldown, as long as he knows where he's going, I think there's other stuff that he could buy that would be more useful.
So what would you like here?
I mean, I think Force Staff is good. Just having the extra mobility.
Oh, the bash
First hit bash! BZZ, what a player!
Yeah, been practicing that RNG, and I was just like, well, okay. In that case, I cannot live.
Yeah.
Fata going for a solo kill.
Man, Jadam actually, he just dropped a sentry as soon as he got initiated.
That was so quick.
Even before he got Vendetta, he actually dropped it.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like he would drop it there unless he realized it right now, because they already had a sentry right there, so.
Yeah.
Good good panic reaction, I suppose, but still, when a Nyx has Dagon and he goes on a poor little Bane, Bane does not have a fun time.
But I mean, VP are still playing the same way. They're not grouping. They're all split all the time.
Yes.
And they're just allowing the Nyx to get so much. I mean, it's not even the fact that Fata himself is farming. It's just what Envy is able to do because of Fata's presence.
Yep.
And the best way to counter a Nyx is the 5-man. And like Waga was saying, sure, you might lose a tier 1, you might even lose a tier 2. But if you have an Aegis and you have BZZ with as much farm as he has and you try to go high ground and you succeed, it only takes one push to cripple what Naga can do.
It's the other way around as well, though. I mean, it's also what Fata is able to do because of Envy's presence. They both help each other. The space created in the ganks, buying space. It's a nice little symbiosis, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, something that Hani has said when he cast it for with us for the Dream League is that the team that's dictating where the fights are happening, where the pressure is happening, has the advantage. And you see it in this game, hold that thought, Bone 7 needs to get out there. He's got a blink dagger, and he'll blink away. Right now, Cloud9's dictating the push, they're dictating the split push, they're dictating the gank. Bottom lane, BZZ is going to get Dagon, but looks like Fata's going to Psalm TP and get him out of there. And in order for Virtus.Pro to dictate their own pressure, 5-man down mid. Like, we are fighting here now, whether you like it or not. And that Aegis that they got earlier has not even been in a factor.
I mean, Envy has just skyrocketed up to #1 on the farm charts, and I think you kind of missed your timing to go now, because the heart is going to be up very soon on Envy, and when he has the heart as well, you won't be able to kill the illusions. I say very soon as he just has 2,700 gold, but it does not take long for a Naga with these items and Manta style already to complete that heart.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, BZZ's farm doesn't really seem so scary anymore.
Yeah, they're going to want Sadoy, and with the multiple blink daggers, they'll find him very quickly in his own jungle. I mean, he wished he could lose more charges, but he actually can. Bone 7's going to get Viper Strike, the BKB on G, very, very strong, and there's a grip on Bone 7. They'll get the kill there. Meanwhile, a little bit south, Envy, he gets seen by BZZ. If he gets a pretty good bash, he's not even going to try for it.
Yeah, Envy is just going to back out. They even swap him back just to keep him safe. And as you said, if C9 could bring that stone down to negative, they would have by this time, because I think he died like 3 or even 4 times with a 0 bloodstone charge already.
Yeah.
So Timbersaw is a non-factor right now, unless they can get a 5-on-5 scenario.
Well, the thing is, the way you look at it, they traded a non-factor for Jakiro, and their mid lane is somewhat pushed. Do you just go down mid now, or it's too late?
I actually think it's too late. I think the fact that Envy has been allowed to hit level 16 means that it's too late, because that means that your song is only a minute cooldown now, right?
So then what's the game plan?
Try to go ultra late and get 6 slotted on every hero, and then hope that you can take one really big team fight and then just end the game.
Yeah, so I mean, there are 2 approaches. You can either do that, or you can try for the bigger pick, like smoke up and go for the Naga pick somehow. And if you run into... Yeah, exactly. Like, you have to go for the big kill now. But... as I say that, Fata is the one dictating where the ganks are happening, and Zinano just playing smarter, it seems, than VP right now.
No, Envy, he might need to song for this one. No, he'll back off. And look at the Naga illusions. The Diffusal Blade is hurting so much.
I think Diffusal might have been an even better choice, because they're not really killing his illusions anyway. So
you actually want to take this fight? Is this the correct fight to take?
Nah, they're running.
It's like, all right, never mind.
That Naga luxury, being able to just song, walk around and look at the enemy, like size them up a little bit, like, okay, you look a little bit too tough, I'm going to TP out.
Yeah, I think, honestly, though, VP could have ended the game like 10, 15 minutes ago, easily.
I mean, at least made an attempt to do so, right?
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, you have to try, because now they're in a position where they no longer have control over the game. They have to wait for Cloud9 to basically make a mistake. And even if they have a gold lead, I mean, he's going to get picked off again here in the bottom lane. The swap's going to be here, though.
Yeah. On the top lane, there's going to be a defensive swap. Highlight that gets a stun off. Are they actually going to try for the kill? BZZ quite low in terms of mana. He sees Pi. They could... okay, he's losing mana very quickly. Needs to jump back. Meanwhile, is there grip available? Jottam gets purged. Jottam is going to nightmare himself. The illusions might clean it up. Now the mech's going to come through. The illusion's going to give chase. One more Riptide? Yep.
I mean, you can see, even without a heart, how hard it is to deal with this. And nice play again by C9, getting the pick on Yol first and then also getting Bane. They just all over the map creating things, and this is where Storm and Nyx excel, really.
Bottom, Sadoy. They're waiting for that regen to pick him a little bit higher. Here we go. I don't think Fata will get the solo kill on, but it's going to harass him a little bit further. In fact, Zeus is actually just going to D-ward instead of participating in the kill.
I really don't understand why Sadoy went Hood instead of BKB. Like, he bought an Ogre Club, and then he bought a Hood. Like, just finish the BKB. I mean, sure, you can get ensnared still, but the majority of the damage coming out from Cloud9, and it's not even just about the damage, it's about your Timber Chain getting interrupted, it's about getting Carapace, not being able to combo properly. I think BKB is just a way better choice. And plus, if they ever jump you, and the Naga is not there, you BKB and you TP away, which most likely would have saved Sadoy, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 deaths.
Well, many of the kills on him have been chain stuns, to be honest, but in a fight scenario, if they ever had 5, BKB would be the item you want to have.
Yeah.
So Hood of Defiance, I feel, doesn't play to the style that they need to finish the game.
Maybe when he first started as a highlight, or he's going to TP out. When he started the Hood, maybe he was thinking, if I finish the pipe in a timely manner, we could high ground with this. But, you know, he's died like, I don't know how many times. Slark's going to come in against EE, the song immediately comes out, and you kind of have to do that because BZZ now has the Abyssal Blade. So if you stick for too long, he will kill you. Oh, look at BZZ. He's going top immediately. Want to set up some plays. But there is a gem available. In fact, he's going to get stunned. Is he going to get chain stunned? He's losing so much health. The double dig on build. 1 on Bone 7, 1 on Fata. The core is dead.
He burned to death in the Shadow Dance there to Jakiro, so just barely being brought down. Huge pickup there, killing off the Slark. Slark losing a lot of gold. Viper is very close to finishing up whatever item he wants to get now, but I think it doesn't matter. Like, you get stronger, sure, but how are you gonna push now? You've been waiting so long, and at this stage, the Illusions are just reigning supreme. Naga, in my book, is one of the best late gamers in the entire game. Oh, are they gonna go for this? Going for G this time.
He's dead.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, this is, if we talked about game 1 being an outplay, this is an outplay by Cloud9, like hands down.
I mean, you could argue that VP has made a mistake of not push, but yeah, right now Cloud9 is just running Virtus.Pro over.
I mean, that is what an outplay is in the end. You playing better than the enemy anyways, so
I mean, everyone on VP is dead. They're actually just going to get team wiped 1 by 1. They've been caught all over the map. Cloud9 with an amazing comeback performance here. And I don't even know if it's fair to call it a total comeback because they were behind by a good margin, but we've definitely seen bigger deficits with teams that don't have Naga.
Still though, 10,000 gold advantage is pretty significant, and VP didn't have, well, either they didn't have any chance to do something with it, or at least they weren't able to do something with it against Cloud9's execution.
Now imagine if Virtus.Pro had a 10k gold league with a Zeus. I think the game would be a lot different. Talk about that later. BZZ initiates, but maybe later.
He tried his hardest.
Yep.
Well, this is exactly why Naga, in my eyes, is probably one of the best late gamers in the game, because her and Void, they have 2 really useful skills to just control either a team fight or the entire flow of the game. Your creep waves will not go anywhere if you take a fight. You have a song to come out. So in the ultra late game, I still don't think the VP have this. So
I don't think it will get to the ultra late game.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. I think they'll actually just lose before then. Looks like Sadoy is still not opting to go for the BKB, just finishes an Aghanims instead. I don't know, I mean, Cloud9 have already proved that they can kill him over and over again. Doesn't matter if you have the Hood for damage reduction, it's all about the chain stun. If you can't get away from the stun, you're dead. Doesn't matter what hero you are.
At least he can suicide without thinking about it, because he doesn't have any charges to lose.
Alright, Bone 7 caught here.
Song?
VP possibly finding some kind of an opening. The Song cancels the stomp. Bone 7 might be able to TP away. Envy walks too far.
Envy.
He sacrifices Bone 7.
Yeah. That was no mercy from Envy, just walking away and then TPing out. 1 Bloodstone charge over to Timbersaw, the first one in like half an hour.
It's okay, they'll get that one back in a bit.
I'm sure they will. Roshan is alive here, and maybe VP are thinking about doing it.
I think it would be a decent timing. Although...
Can they do it quickly enough? I mean, BZZ does hit for a lot. Oh, they have a medallion.
Yeah, I think they can.
Yeah. Illusions will scout the Roche out. I mean, doing this against a Naga Song is kind of scary.
Well, you have to do something. I mean, I'm pretty sure they realized how much of a control they had in the game, and then they threw it away by just... I actually want to say there was about 10+ picks in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, that is unbelievably...
Oh, best win in the game for Naga. Illusion in the bottle.
Yeah, Envy always carrying around a bottle on his carries.
With the butterfly up, he's now fluttering. I mean, does the Aegis even matter if you never find a fight?
If you never find a fight, for sure it doesn't, but that's 5 minutes.
Oh, G on the top lane, he gets initiated on the burst damage is real. He's going to BKB and fight his way out of this. Maybe it's going to be a Song disengage, but BKB is allowing G to right-click. Fata's going to invis and just walk away. In fact, look at all these illusions still hurting him quite a bit after the BKB ends.
Yeah, and Bane trying to walk into it as well, taking tons of damage. They have to silence and stomp the illusions to get away even. So struggling to leave the base, but not able to.
Cloud9 are now officially Team Blink as Paladai gets one. Yul actually going to be killed here by Envy.
He got him with the illusion in the end after stomping him. I think he just stuck around too long because he got a stomp and could just have walked away. That surprised me. The big Dagon as well on Jakiro. We haven't mentioned it that much, but he has done this before in Phase 2.
Yeah.
Worked out beautiful. In this game, they are going for so many burst pickups, working really well for them.
Yeah,
Illusions taking down tier 2.
I don't know. It seems to me like VP just kind of lost their sense of direction somewhere along the way. Like G, he played really well during the early game, but then he was a creep killer. Like that's all he did. He was never at an engagement. All Cloud9 did was continually go for Sadoy, picked him off over and over again. Yul was another target that we frequently saw die. It's just, if you get ahead on that hero, and you don't 5-man with it, what's the point? Like, what is actually the game plan if you're going to try to continually split push against a Naga Siren until like 50 minutes in?
Yeah, and as you said, game plan. It seems like VP didn't execute it well enough at all and did not respect Eternal Envy on his Naga Siren, because if you give him time to farm up Radiance, Travels, Manta, you're in a very tough spot. So someone in VP just needed to say, hey guys, this is what's happening, we're going down mid, instead of this splitting up all over against the Nyx without having that good wards down, getting ganked non-stop.
Jottam,
but that's retrospect.
Might find Fata.
Ooh, that's done.
Oh, blink, blink.
All right, BZZ goes in. He finds Bone 7 here. He's got the Super Basher. Abyssal used. They will manage to pick off Bone 7.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Sadoy actually engaging into Aoi. The burst damage is really, really heavy. Aoi does have a 4-staff, does have the defensive swap, and should make it home. Envy's coming here to help his teammate out a little bit. Sadoy's going to go down. Bloodstone charge down again.
Poor guy.
I mean, I've never actually seen a Timber do so little with such a good early game.
That's true. He has been down completely. But the same can be said about the Viper. He also had a massive lead in the early game. Played really well, but then they did not do anything. It comes down to execution and game plan. C9 definitely had the better one in this game.
Yeah. Wait,
sorry.
what? Envy?
Envy, I think he used a song, but it's a 1-minute cooldown.
Maybe that's just the just-in-case song.
Yeah, why not?
If you're going to TP away, you might as well, right?
How crucial is the fact that Virtus.Pro right now is losing, like, death by 1,000 cuts?
Well, I actually don't think
like
there's
in
much
terms
I
of
can
the
do
game 3
anymore.
mentality here.
Oh, well, if I had a loss like this where I just felt like we actually had the game won almost. I mean, let's keep in mind, they had all the outer tier towers taken. They had a 10,000 golden experience lead. The Naga finished a Radiance at like 24 minutes in, which is extremely late, especially considering the way that Cloud9 decided to lane it. Our Viper was massive. BZZ had good farm as well. I would be pretty disappointed, but you can't let that mentality like follow you into the third game or you're just doomed.
I wonder if Cloud9 is just like slowing down the pace of the game just for that rub-in. I don't think so, but it's an added factor to it, I guess.
I definitely don't think so, but it is, some players are more or less emotional when they play, and this is the worst type of loss that you can have, where it feels like you had everything in lock and under control, then it slipped away from you completely. So it could play into the next game, but first C9 have to completely execute this game.
Well, they're executing right now, including the Sadoy kill. Sadoy, show his face. They could wait for a bit. He actually got off his ghost, but not going to matter here.
Yeah, I really don't think there's much left that VP can do.
Yeah, E-Blade on Nyx, quite a lot of damage.
Oh, BZZ actually got caught. He's going to Shadow Dance and fight his way out of here. They can even use Song for him if they want to. In fact, they will. They see him now. They need to prep a couple of stun Ice Path to start things out, and then Song to be cancelled. And BZZ, his HP will drop. That was a 4-hit, it felt like. Envy gets grip. Looks like he got cancelled, though. Envy just going to walk away. Defensive swap is available. Now, without Song, they actually might die. I'm not sure if Envy has buyback. Checking on his goal, he definitely does. So he's absolutely fine. Meanwhile, on the back line here, G focusing on Pylite Die. He's going to get burned down by the poison attacks. BZZ going to work. He actually is going to pounce down to the low ground. Cloud9 actually wants to chase.
I mean, Envy is running away and killing people in the backline with his illusions. He got 2 kills with illusions.
Damn.
In this fight.
What a hero.
Yeah, Zeus did help him a lot as well there, but Bane and Elder Titan getting picked off in the backline. All they get is a Vengeful.
Oh, BZZ, he wants more. He's looking for Aoi here. Envy comes in. He does not have Song just yet, but they go on BZZ. There's no Shadow Dance for 3 seconds.
My
The damage
goodness.
is too high. And that's another gem going the way of Cloud9 as well.
I really like the upgrade before finishing the heart. He makes him such a killing force. And look at G. He's going to use his mech and uses all his mana because it's going to get burned anyways. And these illusions will die, but the writing's on the wall, I feel like.
I don't know. I'm still actually amazed that VP actually let this one go the way that they did. Like, it's one thing to lose like a high ground push and then you fall behind. It's completely different to let your team get picked off that many times in succession. Like, it feels to me as if they just didn't want to win the game. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Well, we'll see if they can continue to defend against the onslaught of illusions coming out from Envy here.
Yeah, they do have Timbersaw, which is pretty nice to kill illusions with.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with the Agnim's upgrade, he can kill stuff very, very quickly if Envy doesn't spread them out completely.
If Sidoi gets up to a Hex, I think that could at least be a door opening, right? If you could Hex the Naga and force out buyback, kill her.
I don't know. How do they deal with swap, though? Like, look at VP's team. What on their team actually gets to the Venge to stop Pylai Dai from being able to get Envy out of trouble?
That's definitely true, but that's assuming the Venge is nearby. And the way that Envy has been playing has been extremely, aggressive.
Yeah, that is true.
He's using Song to set up kills. He's using Song to scout, so I think there is still some hope.
Yeah, they're trying to get level 16 over on Vengeful right now. He has his Blink, of course, which we have seen before. So when he gets that level 16 range, he can stand so far back and still have a massive impact.
It's been quite a while since we've seen some item progression on the side of Virtus.Pro.
Oh my
Slark.
God. Even now he has so much items.
Jeez.
He's actually working his way towards either Refresher or Bloodstone. I think Bloodstone is still okay.
I definitely think it's a Refresher. Like, no doubt at all. Because it's so very, very strong at this stage. And he doesn't have that much mana issues exactly with his Soul Ring and Yule Scepter.
Well, with that, I actually think the Radiance Burn and double Zeus ulti just straight up kill 2 of the heroes on VP. Like Yul and Jotum, I don't think can actually deal with that.
Even Pi can just blink away. I mean, there's no good distance closer from VP. You're using Zeus ulti to scout a little bit, also dealing some damage. Illusions being cleared up by Zidoi and his spam.
So, if you're Cloud9 right now, are you actually in a hurry to try to end the game?
No.
Or do you just...
You're not.
Well, a little bit, because still your Naga Siren is getting
by the way,
point.
getting picked off here on the back line. He's got Blink, and he'll blink away. All right.
Wow.
Oh.
He also has friends.
Yeah, friends
Song
are a good
is
thing to
down.
have.
Envy is playing pretty hard right now. And here comes the Yule Scepter. Nice blink back here by Fata. And in fact, G is dying those illusions. Blink back in here by BZZ. They want to turn on Pylai Dai. Nice defensive ghost here, but into the chakram. That's going to be 1 kill going in the favor of Virtus.Pro. On the bottom, though, the 2... Look at the Cloud9 rats. It's working on the high ground push.
Yeah, they got to pick off on Elder Titan. Meanwhile, they're still fighting, though. Fada getting gripped here. Should go down maybe to Timbersaw. He's so tanky, though. He has all these stats from his plenty of items.
Yeah, he actually just wants to go in. He's going to go in, blink, mana burn stun on the Jotum. Easy kill. Didn't even have to use the Dagon for that one. And like you were mentioning, the whole time, bottom lane is just getting continually pushed in.
BZZ, he wants some kills, but he's actually... Oh my god, look at the Dagon! Zeus ult is on cooldown for 6 seconds. I think they could get him.
He's actually just dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus, the dynamic duo of Zeus and Jakiro just pushing bottom.
Yep, and of course there was a Song TP on the top lane, biding more time for the bottom lane. BZZ buys back and TPs in.
You know, if you had told me at some stage in this game that a Jakiro and a Zeus would be able to just kill position 1 Slark, I would have told you that you were out of your mind. I would have been like, nope, there's no way.
Anything could happen in Dota, man.
Well, that's a very farmed Zeus, though, and same for Bone 7 with his burst build, a high-level Dagon, so definitely possible. And the two of them also pretty capable of protecting each other, both having Yule Scepters and Force Staff. Now Refresher is online. They're gonna try to burst again, I believe.
No, that's a Yule's. And that's 2 man getting
Oh,
caught.
God.
Double bolt time. One. What's the second one?
He got used.
He's got another.
Oh, the smoke! The plays here from Virtus.Pro, but they need a lot more of that. They survive, but on the back line here, actually, where's the Envy? Envy's just sending his illusions. He's chasing away BZZ. The rest of his team is just fighting without the core, though. He's going to use himself. The Dagon, actually, the BKB's going to come out. Fata does not. Fata a lot of trouble. VP is fighting really well for this duration of the fight. Everybody's quite low. Here's Envy joining the party. He's going to song. Ice Path is going to get set up here against G. G will lose a ton of health here. BZZ, can he actually fight? He's quite low on the back line here. Sedoy chasing forward, throwing chakra left and right. Aoi's going to die. That's going to be 1 kill going in the favor of Virtus.Pro. They wanted to chase it a little bit more. They see Envy. Envy does not have Song. He does have Manta.
And they can use him. It's so close. He's getting body blocks.
They could Manta just send illusions the other way. Should be fine.
Yeah, he's just too fast, I think.
He could flutter as well. He's just holding on to it.
No, it was on cooldown for 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you flutter at them.
All right, so that team fight actually working out pretty well for VP. That smoke was clutch, man. Like if they didn't do that, I think Yul definitely would have died.
Flat out died, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Sedoy would have, but it's still very cool to see. And they purchased another gem on the side of VP, so they're still in it. I mean, they haven't lost their Raxes yet. That's really the point where the Naga Siren starts to just totally win the war of attrition. Is you basically never get laned out again after you're down a Rax.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course he has all the gold he wants. He could even get, 7, 8, 9 slotted. He can have Refresher ready, double Song. You can have Necrobook. You can get as gimmicky as you want. You can have a BKB ready. So
top lane here, Bone 7's going to get Blink Abyssal and straight up pick off. Can he actually blink after this? I don't think so. The Chain Sun's going to be there, and nice pick for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, very good gank. Keeping the number advantage as well, having more people on the field, this is what they need to do.
So the big thing is, when a lot of people talk about Naga Siren teams, is that the Naga Siren gets to a stage where you actually are just taking away farm from your team.
Yes.
Because you have to prioritize pushing the lanes all the time. So even though Envy is over 10 CS a minute right now, at 52 minutes in, he still has to do what he's been doing. He can't stop. Because the second he does, VP suddenly get the map control back, the waves are all out of their base. Even right now, they're actually pushed more than they have been in maybe the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, VP with that good fight though, they have a chance to go into Roshan as well. Sneaky, sneaky.
Here's the thing though, Envy just bought himself a Refresher Orb, so we're seeing the 7 slot coming in right now. I'd like to see him even buying wards for his team because I think gold is more valuable now on like heroes like Pylai Dai. I mean, gold is not a limit for him at this point. So might as well buy the wards. But here comes the Roche. But they're doing it okay speed. But here comes the Naga.
Oh,
Envy actually gets a refresher.
Secret song right now.
Oh, Song's gonna come in. The BKB's gonna take the Aegis. It's time to disengage for Cloud9. Song is down. They don't want to fight in this.
I mean, that was so close. Like that song was within like 400 or 500 range of hitting BZZ.
Oh yeah.
What is this refresher for exactly for Envy?
I mean it's mostly for a double Song.
Yeah.
You can also have more illusions if they get cleared really fast by Timbersaw. But I believe they're looking for like the double Song and rat the enemy racks kind of thing. Also Shadowblade picked up on Jakiro. Looking for more sneakiness in this game.
What a game. I mean, VP are starting to get to that. We talked about the ultra late game, right? Like 60 minutes plus, I would say, is kind of considered ultra late game, right? You've been playing for an hour. And we're closely reaching that point. And when it gets there, I mean, BZZ, he's got another item slot after the Aegis is gone, but he's already got MKB. He does a lot of damage now. If they catch Envy, they definitely have what it takes to kill him. And this is the part where it really gets scary because, again, you're taking away farm from your own team. You're not progressing in items anymore. Envy has the most that he will ever get. I mean, you could buy things like Necrobook and put it on the Courier, and you could do some clowny stuff with Refresher, but at the end of the day, this is your ideal 6 slot if you want to fight.
Yep, and the fight will come to them right now. Keep in mind that BZZ's got the Aegis. Sedoy's going to lead the charge. He's actually got 3 Bloodstone charge. He's Gucci now, but he's actually going to lose some right now because initiation's going on. Sedoy, the double ult's going to come through. He actually goes. Envy gets 1 kill on the backline here. BZZ will have to right-click. Song says, let's disengage. G says, no, I got the BKB. Refresh is going to come through, but he dies. G says, no, I'm going to still right-click. Meanwhile, Bone 7 taking a ton of damage from BZZ. He will use Shadowblade to get out. What a late game item, George. G pops the cheese. He's going to be fine. Is there buyback? There is buyback from Envy. He is thinking about coming back in the fight, but this is where he's actually vulnerable. I think if you're Cloud9, you say, no more fighting for like 5 more minutes. Fata in a lot of trouble in the jungle as well.
He's not going to get away from
He
it.
actually missed. There is no detection. Fata will make it out.
Oh god, getting away with the gem as well of the enemy team. 30 HP or something after that nuke. That was really, really clutch.
He's looking for the hunt. He sees a courier. Courier, bye-bye. Well,
that courier had a refresher on it,
yeah,
by the way.
that doesn't matter. Like I think Envy just sit in the base for 4 more minutes and set illusions out.
Just sit in the well.
Like, seriously, that's how you lose the game, right? If you get caught.
Yeah, more or less. And the Yellow Titan's going to be up in about 20 seconds. So this is an opening that VP previously, they never had, right?
Yes.
Like, they have top and bottom exposed. The tier 3s are dead in those lanes, but they just took a pretty big engagement. Sure, they didn't, like, win it flat out, but fourth in the Envy buyback, that could be one of the only chances they have in this game to really go high ground.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like G, the only way they win this fight is when G BKBs during Song and just flat out kill the Naga.
Yeah,
which is what we saw.
He gets so many attacks off as well because he's so hard to bring down. Even if you send illusions on him, he won't care that much. He has a heart, he has a Salt Cuirass, Pilot Die, sneaky.
Oh, that burst. They're going to try to follow it up here. The pounce, Ice Path still hitting him, but they're not going to have what it takes to kill him after the fact, and they're going to scout him out here. Sentry's dropped.
Yeah, you can see that Envy's playing ultra defensive right now. He's sitting, you know, very far away from the rest of his team. Don't want to get into any fight. And just making illusions, doing the Naga things.
I wonder if Sadoy is actually going for the Hex, because he's had 2,300 gold for a while. I mean, he bought back already, right? So if you were going to buy
Seems like he's working on a Shiva
actually
start.
just dead.
Oh.
He's working on being dead.
Oh, Ghost is there.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. The team's here. Chakram's coming back. Yule's here onto Fata and the back. G. Actually, everyone is just Yule's during this team fight, I guess. And Fata, he's going to get gripped here. G is a little bit isolated, but the rest of Cloud9 is just running away. Fata's going to go down.
Yeah.
They also D-ward on top of that. Fata has buyback, though.
VP taking back these fights, man. Just showing that they can turn it around maybe in the late game. They do have one advantage, and that is the duo core of Viper and Slark being pretty strong.
Yeah.
And Viper is trouble, even though he doesn't look that scary with these items. He doesn't give a shit about the Naga, he just clicks him.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best way to beat him, right? Bone 7, if he gets caught out here, that is the opening that they're looking for. BZZ blinksing the Abyssal Blaze here. Cloud9 in a lot of trouble. Immediate. Oh, Sentry's going to get dropped. One more hit. The gem gets dropped as well. So that Shadow Blade, maybe not the best item of choice. Looks like they'll swap the gem around a little bit, and they're thinking about breaking high ground, at least looking at the high ground for the first time in what feels like 40 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, and this is a really nice timing too, because there's bots up on Sadoy. He has Hex. So if they jump
don't
him,
have buyback on Jakiro.
yeah.
Envy also don't have buyback. If
Okay,
he
this
dies
is
one more
tense.
time.
This could be the make or break here for VP. It's been a long time coming.
Blink.
Fata goes in. He gets a stun on the G. Gonna use the Zeus ulti as well. G pops the BKB. Highlight die. Gonna be put to sleep here. He's gonna pop his Scepter
Well,
as well.
the
Here
BKB's
comes the
baited
Naga
out.
Siren song. This could be the fight that VP can take, but can they actually do
Cloud
it? They still don't have
They
it.
can re-engage. They hacked Fata. Fata does not have buyback. Neither does Envy. Envy's Flutter Boy, but he gets Yules up. They're taking the Rax, which normally is good, but against a Naga, maybe not so good.
I mean,
Not
Fata's
as
dead
good.
for 100 seconds. He
true,
can't
though.
buy back. They know that.
That's true.
How are they going to defend this? They have another song available. The refresher was used. Envy coming in. He's delaying this as long as he can. Oh my god.
Singing the song of his people. But it doesn't do anything. It buys you maybe 9 seconds there, but it doesn't really change this. They're gonna keep going.
Envy's
need
lead-
Fata.
8 seconds.
Okay, he actually canceled his TP.
They need
Rethinking
Fata
the
for
choice.
this. There's no way they can
Cloud9
stop
gonna
it.
lose this game?
Oh my god, I think they're actually going to get double racks. There's
right.
nothing they can do.
Here comes Illusions trying to push down the creep wave.
Yeah, but Timbersaw doesn't care. If you don't split your illusions, he's gonna kill them immediately with
By
his
the way,
items.
BKB's back online on G, so
Oh my god.
he can't just BKB and right-click Aghanims, allowing the ultimate being cast from long range. Here comes Spawn 7. He's very important part of this defense. The focus
Envy.
on Envy. Defensive swap is there. Song is back up in 5 seconds. Jottam taking a ton of damage. Zeus giving them every big lightning bolt. BKB is up online on G. He's running away, but Envy's out of mana. No more ensnare. Is he gonna flutter close? No. Jeez, what a tense team fight. BZZ blinks back in. The ice path will not clip. Envy is dead. Envy is dead. No buyback for at least 2.5 minutes. Meanwhile, Viper down to about quarter health, but he's got the heart. He can regen. There's a Slark in your base, guys.
He bought bots. He bought back and he bought bots. The Slark is back in this, so BZZ's coming right down mid. Bots is going to be alive in 10 seconds. They can easily kill the second set of racks. Throne is still, I think, doable, but it's dangerous.
Faucet's back in about 9 seconds. I think VP's going to win this game.
Yeah, never stop once you finally get into the base here. If you can keep pushing, that is, you know, your one window. Naga being dead, 70 seconds, still no buyback. Sure, Fada is dangerous, but this is your moment as VP.
Blink forward here, they're chaining everything on BZZ. He is also dead. Now Viper's got to be the next target of choice. He's very tanky. There's a Nightmare on Zeus, so he's not throwing out any lightning bolts. He gets Grip. Actually, Grip did not get interrupted. He's still on the back line. G is going to right-click away on Aoi. Force that back, buying a ton of time here for the Naga Siren.
Objective Gaming?
Yeah,
VP,
they're going to focus on the Raxes. G is still tanky. He's so damn tanky. Jadam throwing out Nightmares here and there. Pilot Die, Avenge Sun here in the back. G is very low. They could actually burst him down now. G is dead. Does he have buyback? I'm pretty sure he does. He has Pucha Travel Goal as well if he wants to come back. He does. Tier 4 being siege on the back line as well. Bone 7 very low. Nice Yule stash. Can he actually force tap or blink?
Oh no,
he
C9
gets
have chased too far.
Okay, Naga's back in 10 seconds. Can they hold this for 10 more seconds?
I mean, if you get one kill on G now as well, the same thing goes for C9 going straight down the mid lane.
Mega creep, so they will get Megas.
So close. He doesn't have BKB yet. It's still 5 seconds on cooldown. They're just going all in the Rex right now. Pilot Die ends up dropping here. Sadoy, he picks up the double. Pilot Die buys back. There's one Rex left. The BKB by G is going to get the Mega creeps. Oh my god, Aoi, he's almost dying here. They need to wipe VP completely. They need to completely kill them and go down a lane and try to end the game.
Losing so much health. The Hex is going to come on. Envy's going to die. Double chakram. Sadoy gets up to 10 plus zone charge. What's going on? He does buy back, but he needs to defend the throne. Throne's down to about half health. Zeus is arcing for all his worth. He's running a ring around the Rosie around the throne. Needs to get all the creep wave and allow radius 40 burn damage. Was it 45? It doesn't matter. He's doing a lap around his throne. That's all he can do to defend.
I mean, C9 are actually holding the throne, but this is not going to be them going down and throning VP. VP have enough time. They will have Slark up. Even with the 88 seconds on Viper, I don't see any way for C9 to go straight down the mid lane. They simply do not have anything along the lines of like a Tiny or CK with an amazing push. You just have a Naga Siren that's kind of struggling right now as well.
Dear God, this game. My heart cannot handle this anymore.
Cloud9 is just waiting for the push to come, right? Like, there's nothing they can do. Just earn as much gold as you can, save for buyback if you have it. Envy obviously does not, and he's, like Envy pointed out a long time ago, been maxed out.
I think that's really the problem that they ran into, right? Because as soon as they give up, like, one fight, and you have 2 MKBs, right? Viper has one, BZZ has one. Your Naga Siren is not that tanky. So when you die, and you're forced to buy out in that fashion, and when they fought top, it's just...
Going for it. They want to go for this mid push. They know this is your one window, but 35 seconds already is the timer on Viper. They are going to hit the tier 3 before that time, and Envy, of course, wants to join his team as well.
How much damage do they have buildings? Because if you refresh your song twice, can you throw in that time?
Maybe. There is a threat, of course. Does he have the refresher with him, though?
Oh my god, the clap. The clap is doing a ton of damage.
Look for some cheeky Envy play. I see that as the only way they can win against VP right now. They need to double song them and take Throne
I think they double song and get a Rax and do it again, but I'm not sure if they can. Here comes all the illusions. Here comes Envy. He's running past. He's songing, and the Throne, the builds are invulnerable. He has to TP back. He can't. The defense is too well. Meanwhile, the rest of the team says, what the hell's going on? Our carry's gone here. And they'll just run away. TP back from Cloud9, but I'm not sure if they can defend. Here comes the rest of Virtus.Pro. They don't have Mega keeps pressuring them. In fact, the Throne has regained some health since.
Yeah, but they're storming down the mid lane now. Every single hero on VP is coming and knocking at your door. Sure, you can hold against Megas, but what are you going to do when Viper, Slark are coming? And even Timber at this stage is so scary.
Okay, so the only person in the entire game who has buyback is Sadoy. Is the only one.
And he has the BOT, so... No, they're going to go for the Roche, which, you know, they have a ton of time.
This is the safest play. Like, you can't go into the base and expect to be able to just win because you have Megas against a Naga Siren. You can still defend it. I mean, Cloud9 just showed that they can actually hold it off. So if you die and you don't have buyback, Cloud9 could still potentially win.
RIP Refugee. That was Aoi's Visage of Refugee that just went down. It was at Aegis. I don't think they could kill Slark twice.
Yeah, that actually might be too much, but... We'll see what happens. I mean, some time ago, maybe 40 minutes, we would say VP would have won the game. And then at 45 minutes, we said that Cloud9 should win. At 65 minutes...
Here we go. The initiation's going to go on BZZ. Aegis immediately popped. Here comes the Earth Splitter, but not hitting at just about anybody. Aoi sitting on the front lines, got the Yules. He's getting Hex. Actually, to swap back, though, Zeus going to give you a lot of late game damage. She throw down 1-0, 2-0. Everybody's low. Where is Naga? Naga's fighting against G on the bottom lane. G's going to get bursted down. They are killing G. Can Naga do it all against the rest of the team? BZZ Shadow Dance, he's killing all of these illusions. Envy cannot get Hex, he's popping the Manta, he's fluttering about. Meanwhile, the Throne is taking so much damage. They could just kill the Throne right now if they want to do so. Envy getting stunned for such a long time by the clap. Envy's really low. Envy about to die. Envy, run, my friend, run. The Throne is exposed. Envy is about to go down. They can't KO Envy, he's running so fast. Envy songs, okay. Okay, let me breathe for 5 seconds.
Are you kidding me right now? They're actually still in this
They're
game.
BZZ, they get Dagon 1 second. BZZ's dead, but Envy's also dead. Satoy, can you finish the game? The creeps, they're streaming in like a maelstrom of torrents.
Oh my god.
The creep run Cloud9 over, and Virtus.Pro will go to the winner bracket final. What an amazing display of skill, perseverance, and loved by myself. Shout out to me. Holy shit.
Unbelievable game from VP. They had it in their grasp at around 25 minutes. They gave away a lot of kills. Fata, definitely the star of that game on the side of Cloud9, brought him back into the game for what seemed to be a definitive comeback for them, but unfortunately in the ultra late game,